Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing the long asked for video on stats, orders, numbers, financial stuff, all of that kind of thing. I'm not sure how much I'm actually supposed to say about this, but I'm going to give you a kind of glimpse into what you could be doing. For those of you who haven't watched another video, my name is Jordan and I own WILDRACE, a luxury sustainable candle company based in the UK, and yeah, we've been going around 3.5 years. Just a little disclaimer, every time I say we, I'm talking about me on my own. But for some reason I seem to refer to WILDRACE as we. It's me and WILDRACE. We're a unit. So we've been going 3.5 years, which means I'm in my 4th tax year, and I think we're knocking around the 40 to 50,000 revenue a year at the moment. I work on quite good profit margins, equating for my own time and all the energy I put into it. I think you should be taking very good profits for what you're doing. So, sorry, I'm just going to look at the laptop to read you this. Revenue each year. So year 1, we took a revenue of just over £4,000. Year 2, we took a revenue of 29,800. Year 3, we took a revenue of 40,000, and then year 4, which we're in now, which we're how many months in? 6 months. We're already at a revenue of 22,000. Jumping back in from editing, I've just realised that I have talked about when I'm telling you my yearly revenue, it is not correct, because I do not, when I talk about that kind of revenue of 50,000 a year, it's not correct. That is my revenue from after Amazon take all their fees. If you added on the actual yearly revenue of what I've actually sold, you're probably going to be looking at about double that. I only, for some reason, when I'm doing my books, I only count the revenue from what Amazon has actually sent me, not after they've taken bills or advertising or anything like that. So yearly revenue, basically double whatever I've told you since I've been on Amazon. My mistake. You can see obviously you can't really count this one because it's not the end, but you can see the slow growth each year. That is what I'm very passionate about. I do not think, as stated in another video, I do not think you can grow a candle business overnight. Potentially if you had a viral post, but I've seen a lot of these, and these do tend to lead to businesses that just fickle out. I don't think it builds sustainable businesses, a way where you're going to be able to carry on making a stable income. So a lot of my growth has come from this year particularly. I have got really good at certain things. I'm seeing that result back in my orders. I do take a significant chunk of my income from September to December every year, and I just make sure I hold back a chunk of that to survive the other months. But recently, I'd say this year and a little bit the previous year, I am actually earning a decent amount in the quiet months. So if I set this to all time, so for, when did I even join Etsy? So 2022, I joined Etsy. And in the entire time I've been on Etsy, I've taken a revenue of 21,000, which was 1,154 orders. My website, I've only ever had 474 orders, but I've taken a revenue of 16,000. So you can see it's the revenue, you can see the difference in the amount of orders. So although I've had 1,154 Etsy orders and I've had 474 website orders, I've nearly taken the same. If you look at the actual revenue, I take a lot more money per order on my website. So this year so far, I have turned over £25,000 on Amazon, just under 7,000 on my website, and 5,500 on Etsy. Etsy is super slow this year. I did mention in another video, I did a whole video on how to make Etsy work, then they did an update, it ruined it. Now they've done another update and it's actually doing quite well again, and I'm not even running ads on it this time around, so technically I'm actually better off than I was before. I've then had, it's hard to work it out because obviously I work everything out April to April. So from April to September this year so far, I seem to have had about 3,500 to 4,000 in wholesale orders, but the previous year was very good for wholesale orders. I also worked with a brand called Iggy Box, Don't know how much I should say about that, on a massive wholesale order. If they approach you, I would not recommend. So order-wise, on Amazon, in April we took 161 orders, in May 165, June 204, July 217, August 185, and then this month so far, which it is now the 24th, I've already had 360 Amazon orders, so obviously a big jump, but it's candle season. I'm expecting it. I haven't done a candle season on Amazon yet with all of my stock. This time last year, I only had one candle on Amazon, which has done amazing. It's my little pride and joy project. It's my favourite candle, although it is under attack at the moment, but we won't go into that. And on Amazon, I believe when we worked it out the other day, I make around 30 to 40% profit after Amazon fees, costs of my own materials and all that stuff, which is quite good considering how much they take. I know a lot of people work on a lot smaller profit margins with Amazon, but I spoke to a man like really early in my candle career and he was one of my first stockists actually, and he told me that I was pricing everything too cheaply to equate for my time and to be able to sell successfully wholesale and on platforms like this when they take a big chunk. So I redid all my prices very early on and have always charged a decent amount. I mean, I was paying more than that for candles before I started my own candle brand. So I know the kind of audience I sell to, and they are people who appreciate a very decently made product and tend to shop in the higher bracket. I do believe there are kind of two ways you can take a candle business. So you can go in selling cheaply, not bother with wholesale, and just focus on quantity of orders. Or you can go in slightly higher and you can sell less products and make the same profit as someone who's selling maybe loads of a cheaper item. I think to sell in the higher price bracket, you have to have a bit more of a brand about the candle. You have to have that kind of value built in, and you have to have a little bit of something, I think. I don't think people just spot a random candle on Etsy or Amazon or whatever and will buy it for a very high price. I feel like you have to have a lot of reviews and, you know, just kind of an image about you to get those kinds of people. So in this year 4 is where I've seen the biggest jump, and I am currently taking, every single month this year, I'm taking double what I took in the same month the year before. So it has been a huge jump this year. I have made several smart decisions that have benefited the business, and I think the big moral of this year has been, do not hang on to a product just because you like it. If it's not working, get rid of it. So at the moment in September, it looks like I'm going to come out at about £2,500 profit from Amazon. This has come from around £5,500 worth of sales. And then you've got the profit of the wholesale orders, which has been very busy this month. You've got the website sales, the Etsy sales, and the markets. There's a lot of profit this month to be made, but will I take it all for myself? No, I will not. It will all go back into being reinvested in stock, ideas, new stuff, and savings for the rest of the year, and obviously the inevitable tax bill that will be coming next year. Not looking forward to that one. Overall, I'm incredibly happy with how this year has gone, and it's looking like I'm going to finish on an amazing year next April. I'm incredibly proud of myself for getting this far. I hope that I've covered some of the stuff you might be asking, but please do leave a comment if I've missed something out or there's something you specifically want to know about stats. It's really hard to know what to actually talk about and what to cover, because I feel like with orders and stats and money, there is so much to talk about. Maybe it would be a good idea to actually do a Q&A video where I can answer all of your specific questions. I feel like I'm going to be getting questions on the Iggy box scenario now. I shouldn't have said anything, but I'm trying to be open. I'm trying to be 100% in every single video, so I probably won't be answering any questions on that. I think if you are starting a candle business or you have a candle business and you're prepared to put the time in, you can become very profitable, but I do not think you can be super profitable right at the start. I think it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. All of my efforts go into making sure that my candle company grows sustainably, slowly, and so that everything stays nice and stable for me. There's no like huge jumps, there's no huge lows. It's nice and stable and consistent, and that is what take that word away from this video: consistency. That is what you want from a business. You do not want these months where you're struggling and you don't know what's going to happen, and then a random month where you earn loads of money. Obviously you want to earn loads of money, that's what a business is for, but I think having a more, you want to tick along, you want to grow, but you want to grow slowly. I think this is what my business has kind of done for the 3 years. It didn't ever go like this. I mean, this year has been a huge jump this year, but next Wednesday I'm going to have the video on oil suppliers in the UK, my recommendations with those. And on Sunday we'll be back with the normal vlog. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.